Hello, 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 hello. Sorry about this, y'all. What's up, Palomino Cats? Mike, Crazy Cat. Give me just a second. I got to send a link to Joe. Something happened. It didn't go through a second ago. Let me resend it. And I'll be right with y'all. There we go. And send. Might as well send one to his brother, too, while we're at it. All right, we back. Oh, let me catch back up. We got a ton of people in here. Palomino Cast, Mike, Crazy Cat, Maurice, Daniel, James Docker, K&B, Kevin Grubbs, Kentucky Cat Man. What's up, everybody? Joe Buck, Maurice, Dylan, Mike. Guys, if I miss hollering your name, I apologize. Antique in here, Mike, Mark, Joe Buck. Oh, we got a lot of them coming in, guys. Well, let's start this off by saying, God bless America. God bless each and every one of you and your families. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And tonight, our happiness is Catfish, Big Nasty Zen, Fishing Magician. Let us always remember our veterans, our first responders, EMS, fire, and police, guys. Let's make sure we keep this up. And we're going to welcome in tonight Joe Jellison from Chatt Catfishing. Welcome, Joe.
How's it going, guys?
We got a crowd coming in already. Scotty Hill's in here tonight. We got a pretty good crowd starting to build. Let me get over here and find them over here so I can keep up with Chatt on my tablet.
I'm going to go ahead and share this link.
Okay.
So I can get some people in as well.
I turn the volume down. We'll get an echo. We got her. Oh, he's sharing the link, guys. Don't forget to share. And we probably going to have a lot of new people in here tonight. There's 812, Avid. Y'all guys, I always say share the love, and y'all know what that means, to go check each other out and do that word that YouTube don't like us to say. So I'm going to say share the bait. That's what it means. Share the bait. That means go check out each other's channel and give them a little love, guys. Give them a little love. That's what it's all about, each and every one of us.
All righty, almost there. Let's see. Sorry.
You find we playing with technology. Used to with that Google Hangouts, buddy. It was a headache for me.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
There's Andy Pitts in the house tonight. Everybody holler out and let us know where y'all from. Put the state up where you're from. That'll help us out a little bit. Know what part of the world you're hanging out in.
All right. We're set.
We're set. All right. Well, Mr. Joe, I appreciate you coming in here tonight. And
yes, sir.
Hopefully we'll have some good questions coming up in chat. If you don't mind, help me watch for them. There's John Isabella in here today, down the river fishing. What really got you into fishing?
My grandfather. So he, whenever, my twin brother Jake and I would visit, grandma and grandpa, they always made an effort to take us fishing. And, of course, it was the old school method of just using a night crawler and a bobber with a J hook. And, we were just out just to catch anything, and so that's what kind of got me interested. And it really wasn't so much about catching a fish. It was really just enjoying the time with grandma and grandpa. And if we caught something, great. And if not, that was okay too. It was just us spending time together. And I took it more seriously though, as I kind of got older. And especially when I moved down here to Chattanooga, I didn't realize just how big the fish got. And I guess that just reignited in me to go after a big one. And so I've spent a lot of time on the water just trying to figure out these fish. And even to this day it's it's still a mystery in a way. You can't be one dimensional when you're a fisherman. You have to try different things and just keep trying. So
Yeah, you can't give it up. We got Irvin in the house, PD, avid fisherman. They still coming in. Now, when you started chasing the big ones, what was the turning point of, say, to start chasing them monsters? Your first 20-pounder, your first 30-pounder. Usually there's a fish that really turns people, that says, I've got to buy the rods, I got to buy the reels, the line and all, that is actually going to help me catch that fish.
Well, I first started watching Steve Douglas, and Steve, as we all know, kind of got us really into it. I mean, he's really the pioneer of catfishing for most of us. And once I started watching him, it inspired me to want to catch a big one. And so what I did is I booked a trip with Scenic City Fishing Charters, which I'm actually now a guide with that company. And Richard Sims took me out and we caught some really good fish. And ever since then, I really started just wanting to be more and more on the water. Ended up buying myself a boat and just going out there. And the first time you go on a boat by yourself, it's always nerve-wracking because you just never know like what's going to happen. And so there's a big confidence factor in there too. And so for me, I'm very driven. I'm a goal setter, and I just how I am. I'm a teacher, for crying out loud. So I'm all about trying to set goals, and that's just really been it. I mean, it's not even so much about the size of the fish for me per se. It's just about having a good time and learning something new as I get out there. And it will come. I mean, the more you're out there, the more you're gonna have a chance on getting a good one. I mean, just patience is really the key at this point. And if something's not working, then try doing something else.
Oh yeah, exactly right. It's I noticed on a lot of your videos that you show probably one of my favorite type of fishing, and that's freelining. I started
Yeah,
it years ago.
the free lining was something that was introduced to me by Richard Sims. So when I booked a trip with Scenic City Fishing Charters, that was one of the things that he showed me. So it wasn't an innovative idea by me or anything. I mean, all that came from him. I was just the one that kind of started broadcasting it on YouTube, and it got a lot of views. Like it really, I think that was the thing that kind of got my channel going forward, was doing the free lining stuff. And it's
Really.
kind of an old school type fishing, just using the line, hook, and
I done
bait.
it for 20 years, over 20, 25 years. And
Right,
what
right.
started me was fishing around a bridge that had a whole lot of debris where they had blowed the old bridge up and dropped it in the water. You couldn't use any kind of sinkers. And it was always, even though it's in a lake, there's always a little bit of current right there. So
You got to have current. I mean,
yeah,
you can catch catfish in slack water or just dead water, like if you're fishing on a lake. but the current is what allows it to, because I use chicken breast, and if you cut a chicken breast in the pieces, it has like a natural flow. Like the way it breaks in the water just has a very natural presentation to it. And it works best with light line. If you're using like 50-pound monofilament, it's just not going to work as well. It's not going to break as well in the water. So I use 10-pound mono, or I use 20-pound braid, because that's the same line diameter.
Right.
And that stuff right there, if you have light line, using that chicken, having some current, the way it just moves in the water, those catfish will take it. I mean, you
They
get a lot of
swam it
eaters.
hard.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of eaters, and it's for me, it's mostly a springtime and summertime technique, where if I'm guiding and people want to bring home catfish, that's typically what I'm doing. I'm trying to fill their cooler up, and
Yeah.
it's just easy to get fish that way.
We got Junior Proctor, team keeping it real. Country Girl Fishing. Congratulations, girl. Thank you for coming in.
Fish on.
Yeah, I started doing it years ago, and I've used the uni knot for many a year. And the uni knot, because you can pull it tight and leave a little loop in it.
Sure.
So that hook will kind of float around free. And I always use big brim head. You can get a long cast with them big brim head and just let it kind of float down through the current. The downside, and I know you know this too, is that you better become a line watcher.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Got to be. It keeps you on your feet for sure.
Now, do you use the J hooks or circle hooks when you free line?
When I'm free line, I use the Kale hook.
The Kale.
And the Kale hook it's kind of like a circle hook, but you can also use it to set the hook too. So, I mean, I've gut hooked a couple fish with the Kale hooks, but I usually tell my clients saying, hey, just hold the rod, especially when free line. That way you can feel the thump and set the hook when you need to. I use circle hooks when I'm anchor fishing typically. That way the fish can take it and then just wait for the rod to bend down and then just start cranking on it. So.
Exactly. Now, when you're out on let's go here first, because we do have a fair amount of bank fishermen in here.
Okay.
And I know you do some bank fishing with your brother and by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you use Navionics to help you choose a spot where you're going to set up the bank fish?
I use Google Maps more. I don't like Navionics as much. I mean, I have Lake Master in my depth finder, but I mean, I do have it on my phone. I mean, I can kind of compare those two different maps, but the big thing about bank fishing is really just looking at the body of water that you're going to be fishing. When I bank fish, I mean, for those who are in the house, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen my creek videos, and I do a lot of creek fishing, especially when it's high, it's muddy, good current in there. But fishing out like in an open lake, it can be really tough. That's when I don't like to bank fish as much. If it's like after a good rain or something and the water's kind of got stirred up, and everything, then I'll get out there. But I don't know, bank fishing is just tough. It's a different type. You have to really know the location on where you're fishing. And Catfish Dave is, I'm sure some people know him, but he's a YouTuber, and all he does is bank fish, and he does a really good job. And he spends a lot of time like really scouting out the area, and just location's everything. You got to be at the right place pretty much to know, hey, there's a chance on a big one that can be in this spot. Or you can just take a shot in the dark type thing, and just captivate out there and just wait and see what happens.
Keep back and relax and enjoy the day. And if you get a fish, that's just a bonus. That's kind of the way I approach it. But now I do use the Navionics, and I haven't tried that app you just said.
The Lake Master.
The Lake Master.
Right. Yeah, Lake Master I think is more built for depth finders for a boat. But I'm not sure if they have a bank fishing app for it or not.
Well, what
I
I'm
mean,
saying is the Navionics and the Lake Masters and stuff like that. I look for places where you can set up that you got pretty close access to the river channels that cut close to the banks, flat areas. The Google Maps will help you look for debris or down trees and stuff. Maybe if you're looking for flatheads, I try to use every tool in the book to try to get me to that point of making the choice of where I want to set up. And it's also a time of year.
yeah, you're right. And the other thing too, like when bank fishing is, you know, I I try to look for areas that that aren't just consistent, like something that's really causing a change in the pattern of the water, whether it's like a current break, fishing a creek of a mouth, fishing under bridges, fishing near dams, those type of things is what I would really recommend. And I know a lot of people don't have access to that type of stuff, and that's where you may have to travel quite a ways in order to really try to go for the big one if that's what you want. Um, so
It seems like more and more every day that that access is getting narrower and narrower. It's harder to find a place to, and that's because people's trashed up so many spots that they just shut them down. They just
yeah, spot burning's really big too. I know with bank fishing it gets tough.
yeah.
Um, so
But now, do you like you bank fishing when you do go?
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's times I don't catch anything. It's just the nature of the game. It's just how it is. But most of my bank fishing now has been on South Chickamauga Creek. It's a watershed that pretty much feeds right into the Tennessee River, and the average depth in there is like 8 to 10 feet. So, and when it gets flooded, and we've had some pretty wicked floods here in the Tennessee Valley, but there's a pocket I've been fishing that's average depth is like 14, 15 feet in there, and that's when the creek is low.
Ain't right.
So it's just, I don't know, like I've hit that pocket. I'm fishing from this private dock that this guy has allowed me to fish. And he just gets a thrill out of me just fishing his dock. And he doesn't even like to fish, but he likes the fact that someone's using it, right?
There you go.
He doesn't really have much use for it. I mean, he does have a pontoon boat, but doesn't take out his boat that much. But he really likes when I fish there because he knows that someone's using it, and I'm making YouTube videos and having time for myself, and so it's been a pretty killer spot.
Got some
Um,
big fish out there. I want to give a holler to Chunky Cat's Fishing. Said he's just out for a couple minutes at the hospital with
oh
pneumonia,
no, I
asthma,
see
swollen
that. I
legs.
see that.
My friend, I hope you get to feeling better, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Prayers up to you. I guarantee you. I hate to hear that. Oh, Chunky Cat's put some big old fish in up there. Up
I'm
there.
on it. Yeah, Washington D.C.
Yes, sir. I love that with the big Washington Monument right behind him. I love seeing that. Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
him
quite
and
a
his
few more
son
people.
Cookie getting the job done.
Don't
That's
he?
how they do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I enjoyed having them on the show. We done a live feed with them. They was in a bank fishing tournament up there, and we had him in that night, and then he was on the next week on the show, and that was a pretty good show. We done some giveaways in there, and it turned out real good. Joe, I want to throw
Good.
up a couple things that I told you earlier that I do a little DIY stuff, or
Sure, go
a lot of
ahead.
times it ain't DIY, it's just information.
Sure.
Guys, most of you know that I do gold mining also. Dive into creeks and rivers and stuff and get gold. Well, after dropping my first iPhone in the creek, the wife found these things online. And it's called a Cali case. If I find the camera, it's called a Cali case. They are waterproof and it floats, and you can actually operate your phone through the screen on here. So I carry mine on the boat with me. Like when I'm traveling and stuff, I'll just drop my phone in it when I'm going from point A to point B, because I do use my phone for some filming also. But this rascal, I've dove underneath the water and actually filmed myself sucking up gravels and stuff with my dredge with this thing with me. So, and it ain't about $8, $9, guys. Amazon. It's called a Cali case. So it's a waterproof case that'll float your phones. Just something little, something to throw up for people to check out. All right, get back to your boat now. What kind of boat you fishing out of?
Mine's a G3 aluminum John boat. It's 17 feet. So I've had it a few years now. I'm probably going to have to upgrade in the next year, though, so I can take out more people in it. I mean, it has a 40 horsepower on it, but the most I can take on there is 2 other people.
Right.
And that 40 horsepower can be tough, when you're taking out bigger people on the boat. And so I need to really upgrade probably in the next year or so. So
my little pontoon, it's a 20 footer, but it just has a 40, but it's got that Evinrude E-Tech on it.
Okay.
And it'll push that pontoon at 17 mile an hour with people on it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think mine I've been able to top out at, I think, 28, 29 mile an hour.
That's
not
good.
Quite 30. It's not bad, but I got a lot of stuff in the boat too.
Yeah,
Like there's monster rod holders and just anchor, the tackle, just everything. And then you start adding people on there, everything just kind of starts adding up quick. So, but it's all good. It's all good.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I didn't know how many times mine bounced off. Oh, talking about their phones dropping in the water. That's a good thing, guys, especially bank fishing. Catch the record, show later. All right, now you on the boat, you run the monster rod holders. What kind of tackle you running? Rods and reels and line?
Gosh, I have everything. So if I'm really going for a big fish, I'll use my anchor rods. I use the Shadow Cat rods. I do really well using those rods. No issues with them. They're stainless steel guides, which, I wanted to bring up. I used to use ceramic guides, but over time, the monofilament line will kind of fray through that ceramic insert in there. And it was really messing up the line too. And I've lost a couple big fish on using that. So I've gone straight to stainless steel guides on those fishing rods, and I've never had an issue since.
Yeah, so, when they first come out with them ceramic inserts on them eyes, they thought it was the stuff because it is a hard material. But
but that strain on the line rubbing against that, I don't know. I mean, you get a 30, 40, even 50 pounder, that thing will, I don't know. I just try to be careful, and especially if it's a fish of a lifetime. And but so I have 40-pound monofilament line on those reels. I use the Akuma Classic CLX 300 reels, spool with 40-pound mono, and I have an 80-pound leader. I go really heavy on the leader just because I'm usually fishing deep holes, structure, down trees, and that extra leader just provides more abrasion, when you're fishing around junk and all that stuff.
Muskrat had a good idea. Said he uses a cotton ball to check his eyes for snags.
Oh, really?
I didn't even think about that. That's a pretty good idea. Appreciate that. Appreciate you sharing that.
That's a good tip. So using a cotton ball, you said?
Yeah. Okay. I guess you just swirl it around in there, and if it picks little pieces of cotton off of it, you got a snag in there. That's a pretty good idea. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, so you got that. What is your favorite rig when you're rigging up out there? Just a Carolina rig, a Santee rig, or?
Yeah, I have a couple rods rigged up with the Demon Dragon Santee rig. So I use 6 rods when I anchor fish, and 2 of the rods have the Demon Dragon on it. And when I'm suspend drifting, same thing, Carolina rig. Let the sinker hit the bottom, give it a few cranks so your bait's elevated right off the bottom.
Right.
I don't use any dragon weights or anything. That's more for like the lake or something. Right. I don't use planer boards. I'm just a river rat, really. I'm just always on the river, and that's pretty much it. And then I'll have my free line rig, which is if I'm free lining, with chicken, I'll just use a hook and the line. I will use a 20-pound leader though when free lining, just because once again, more abrasion on that leader when you're fishing around rocks and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. I always use a swivel on there, especially because of the brim heads. They bad about flicking, and it puts a twist in your line. So I always put a good sized barrel swivel Not
Sure.
enough that it's going to help weight it down any or take anything away from it, but just something to help keep the line twist out of it.
Right.
And that's let's see. Somebody asked a question: do you like dragging baits?
Nah, never really tried it. I mean, I feel like that's better for like the lake. And I'm usually on the river where
Right.
there's really good current, so I've never really done that.
Have you got into any of that bumping for fish that everybody's doing now? That back bouncing or bumping or?
I've done bottom bouncing before. That can be really productive and really good current. I don't think I got any videos on that. But typically for me, it's usually free lining, anchor fishing, and then suspend drifting.
Gotcha.
But the bottom bouncing can be very effective, though. I know some guys on the Mississippi that bottom bounce a lot, and they are very successful at it.
Right.
So,
So you do drift, but you do a straight line drift like Steve Douglas does.
yeah, and I haven't done a whole lot of suspend drifting this year, but when I am drifting, it's usually the free lining. It's just free lining is really good to use on the river when there's current, and it just keeps the action going. And especially with clients, if you have a 4-hour trip, you got to get on fish quick. It's just going to the
Yes.
go-to spots and being able to put some fish in the boat, making them happy. And
Right.
so, yeah.
Somebody, I think PD wanted to know, what did the fish say when he hit the dam? I
What
don't
did
have
the
a clue.
fish say when he hit the wall? The answer is damn.
Oh, he give away the
He gave
the
away the
punchline,
answer.
didn't he?
Yeah, that's funny. That was actually
uh,
one of my first videos that went viral. I just did a little kind of, you know, dorky title like, let's just be funny here. And I had damn written in the thumbnail on the video. And for some reason, it got a lot of views. Nothing special was about the video. It was just clever title.
Yep, and
So,
that's probably where he seen it. That's where he got that from, probably. Dana, let me do a shout out. Dana McGill, I do want to thank you. You're the second person that has wrote me a thank you note for doing the show and the giveaways and stuff like that. Lady, that was sweet. I do thank you, and I will keep that always, because I don't know, just something like that just kind of reaches out and touches you and lets you know you're not doing this for nothing. It's somebody really is paying attention. Thank you very much, Dana. And another question. Somebody wants to know what do you teach?
sixth grade, social studies, the crazy age. Uh, I teach middle school, sixth grade social studies, and I have one eighth grade American history class. So I've been teaching for 10 years now. I've taught high school, and where I teach is a middle high school, so it's grades 6 through 12. So I've taught every grade level at that school. And they chose to put me down in middle school starting last year because they needed more male teachers down there. It's female heavily populated, and they need to have some male teachers down there. So I was one of the ones that offered to go down, and I love it. It's been great. So
Good.
I
What do you
also
teach?
sixth grade ancient history. So
Ancient history.
we start with early humans, the Paleolithic age, going all the way up to the Roman Empire.
Oh man, I'd like to talk to you about some stuff.
Oh yeah, good
Old
stuff.
gold miner. I never paid attention to history while I was in school, but then when I got into doing a little gold mining and finding some artifacts and stuff, I'm right here. I'm about 2 miles from the Battle of Kings Mountain. And if people don't know about the Battle of Kings Mountain, that was actually the turning of the war right here. A bunch of good old rednecks and farmers come in, kicked tail, and didn't take names.
There is so much history here. It's crazy. In ancient history, you learn I mean, history is just so vast. Like you got to really just, you know, pick your battles wisely when it comes to teaching that stuff. And what do you want the kids to really know? And of course, you got state standards you got to cover too, so it can get
Right.
kind of political too, in a sense.
I
But
did find out. I live right here on Crider's Mountain. It's right beside Kings Mountain. And one day flipping through Discovery Channel, I happened to hear Craters Mountain, North Carolina. I thought, whoa, let's stop.
Yeah.
And actually, back when America and all the lands together, Pangea, when the landmass broke apart, the other half of Craters Mountain is the eastern coast of Greenland. They matched the two by zircon.
Right.
And I thought, that was pretty wild. I thought, what's the odds of me hearing that at the right time to stop and listen to it? Somewhere it's in my backyard. I've climbed that hill a million times and never knew that history.
Hey, you should do some YouTube videos on that stuff.
I might have to do that. I'd have to start a different channel, though.
All good, all good.
Oh, yeah, I need to start another one up in my gold mining anyway. All right. So we covered your rigs and stuff like that, but I've noticed that you do like fishing for other species of fish.
Yeah, I want to touch on this real quick. I have a lot of comments in here about wrestling. I do coach wrestling as well. I coach the high school wrestling team at Signal Mountain, and I've been doing that since I've been teaching too. I actually wrestled in high school, wrestled in college, and now I'm coaching. So we just now started our season, so I'm actually in very, very busy mode right now. But we have a chance to win the state this year. We got a lot of returners coming back, and so it's going to be a great year.
Good. I'm glad to hear somebody that really cares about the students and stuff, that actually puts in what you're doing to get the most out of the children, because right now they got not enough stuff to distract them away from the YouTube and the videos and stuff like that. If you can get them into wrestling and outdoor sports, more power to you, man. I'm sure there's a lot of them watch your YouTube stuff, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of kids do. I mean, they I think they're more impressed with, wow, you got a lot of subscribers, and they want to be a part of that. I mean, but there's some kids who really enjoy watching the fishing stuff, especially if they're into the outdoors and all that stuff. But
somebody asked about tournament fishing.
I don't do tournament fishing. That kind of takes a different, tone. And with the stuff that I do, being a fishing guide and the YouTube stuff, I just don't have the time, honestly. I got a wife, 3 kids, full-time teacher, wrestling coach, and then I'm trying to guide on the weekends, and then also trying to do some YouTube stuff. Oh, I don't know if I could put any more on my plate, honestly.
You sound like you spread a little bit thin there. When do you sleep?
It's tough. And the thing about my YouTube channel, once I started guiding, my YouTube channel kind of started to take a different turn. Not so much for the worse, but I started filming a lot of people catching fish and not me as much. And I think that kind of got some people turned away, unfortunately, because when people subscribe, they want to watch you fish and they want to see what you're doing. And I mean, it doesn't really bother me. It was just kind of like, I don't know, YouTube's algorithm and everything. Did that affect anything? But it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's all about, like you would say, James, sharing the love, getting people involved, and so. But I love the guiding, though. That's definitely my niche, I feel like. So
Jake, your brother's in chat. Jake, I sent you a link on your email. Check your email and see if you got that link. And while he's doing that, while he's getting that link, let me grab this right quick. Everybody, last week I forgot to do the monthly giveaway that Richard Warskow does once a month. Richard, I do appreciate what you do for this channel and your giveaways. And guys, Richard was graciously enough to sell me his old trolling motor with a remote. So now I actually got a remote for my trolling motor and a good trolling motor for the boat. So we working it out. I went and got the stuff in place for him. And what we're doing is that I found 2 red, white, and blue rod covers. I forget what they call these. It's a rod glove, the red, white, and blues that goes in the pack. I got 3 different type of sabiki rigs. Do you ever use sabiki rigs catching your fish, Joe?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm getting skipjack, I will.
Right? There's some beaky
Man, you
rigs.
guys are really into the red, white, and blue. The whole rig is red, white, and blue, and everything. That's awesome.
Man, we got to promote all the day. I try to bring back as much patriotism to this country. I
That's
want to see an
awesome.
American flag on every freaking boat on the
Hey,
water.
hashtag America.
There
Come
you
on.
go, buddy. We got bobber stops. We got rubber bobber stops. I mean, yeah, them things right there. I get tongue tied. Sorry about that. Swivels. Two different kind of swivels. Real heavy swivels. We got sinker slides. I use Gamakatsu hooks. These are 8/0 Gamakatsu circle octopus hooks.
Those
It's
are
a
good
big
hooks.
pack of them, so you shouldn't run out of hooks for a little while.
Those are good hooks.
And guys, give you a little hint about the Gamakatsus. They're very sharp, but they are very, very hard. If you only use a pair of needle nose or pliers on them, only if you have to, and check them and make sure that they're scarred. Reason I'm saying is I've heard some people say that they broke these hooks. And the only way I can see that they break the hook is actually scar that hardened steel. Hardened steel can break like glass. So if you do pull it out with pliers, check your hook, make sure you don't have no scars on it. Muskrat said he's broke a handful. All right. And last but not least, a bait fish lure that I've used for brim, crappie, and stuff. I use a lot around the Carolinas is a black flick tail. I got you some 1/32 heads and the black flick tail. I've caught everything that swims in the water with the black flick tail. Catfish. We had one night where we had baits out, couldn't catch a catfish. I started trying to catch crappie around the dock, and that's when I broke my personal best channel cat of 16 pounds with 6-pound line and an ultralight, and that fish run me up and down the bank for 30 freaking minutes.
Yeah, those channel cats, pound for pound, are like the hardest fighting catfish. They fight harder than blues and flatheads do. I'm telling you, you get like a 20-pound channel on.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, we're going to do a drawing out of Chatt. And when I draw your name, guys or gals, make sure that you send me a message through Messenger, or you can text it to me at 704-600-8369. Your address and name of who won. All right, let's give her a spin and see who comes up. Country Girl Catfishing. Or
There you
Country
go,
Girl
Tiffany.
Fishing. Tiffany, congratulations. Get in touch with me. Send me your mailing address, and we'll get this out to you. Let me grab the prize wheel while we're at it.
Now, Tiffany, that's for catfishing, not bass fishing now, okay?
I told her she's gonna have to catch her some catfish. I'd love to see her catch her some big old kits. She's doing good. She done got professional on us, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's doing real good for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Let's give it another spin in Chatt and see who's going to come up and win on this one. Daniel Ishmael. If I slaughtered your name, I will apologize.
It's okay. Just call him Danielson.
Danielson. Daniel, we have a DIY wheel for a lot of y'all that haven't been in the show. Thank you for joining us. It's a DIY prize wheel. We got names on here. We got Grant. He raises worms. Christian. He makes sinkers. Of course, me on here. Catfish Bill. We got quite a few people on here, and it's DIY. Each one of us makes a product. And if you win it, then those people will send you their product. All right, let's give her a spin for Daniel. All right, Daniel. Uh-oh, Daniel. That's either me or Justin, and I'll take that. Guess what? Justin Fishing Fetish. We're going to let you send him some drifting weights. Get a hold of Daniel. Get a hold of Justin Fishing Fetish. He makes drifting weights. He makes some killer drifting weights for you drifting your baits or dragging your baits. and he will send you out a couple of them. And thank you for playing the DIY prize wheel.
Awesome.
Jake, did you not get the link?
Yeah, where is Jakey Poo?
Not Jakey Poo.
Yeah,
I know y'all guys have a good time fishing together when you do get a
oh
chance to
yeah, I
go.
mean
Don't you?
Jake's really got me into carp fishing. So I mean, I think you were trying to ask me if there's any other fish I fish for. I mean, I fish for everything, and now that I've really started guiding this year, I fish for crappie in February and March, and I fish for smallmouth bass in the spring, fall, and all through the winter. And I mean, fish for catfish all year round. So, I mean, I love fishing for everything.
Yeah. Now, and carp, that's a fighting fish right there, ain't it?
Yeah, especially on light line. Like, I mean, they're like the true wrestlers in the waterways. I feel like. I mean, they
I
just
call them the
pound for
Samoan.
pound. They're the golden brutes. So,
Yeah, I
yeah, I
watched
mean,
your last video where you was carp fishing and you lost that one, and that had to be a good fish.
yeah, and I don't like carp fishing with like 40-pound line. It's just not as fun. Like you really want to use like 15-pound or 10-pound line and really feel the fight. It is a fight, and it's quite the thrill too. Like, I mean, if you've never carp fished with like 10-pound, 15-pound line, I mean, it's definitely an adrenaline rush, and you're like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to get this fish in? I mean, it will really test your skill as an angler too.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We got some big carp. I'm getting a feedback from something. We got some big buffaloes. In fact, the buffalo, Lake Wiley produced the world record buffalo of 88 pounds.
Yeah, buffalo fight hard too. I've caught two. The biggest one I think is like 30 something pounds. And the first one I caught was on a live shiner. And then the second one is I snagged it by accident using chicken breast. I was free line drifting with chicken going for catfish, and for some reason I snagged right into a carp or buffalo
Right.
carp, and now that was snagged right in the anal fin, and gosh, that
Oh,
I thought I had like a 60-pound blue on or something. I was like, Lord have mercy.
oh, I'm sure you did. Now I've had them to take if you're got a bunch of treadfin shad that you're having to use for bait because you can't find the gizzards. I've had them buffalo and regular carp, common carp, take them shad
I'm
on a
not
regular basis.
surprised. We get a lot of drum that will eat the shad. It's like, I mean, drum can be fun to catch, but gosh, they can be annoying too. Like, I mean, they love the threadfin shad especially. But I tell you what though, James, like using live gizzard and threadfin shad, you get a big largemouth if you're
Oh
using that
yes.
live. I mean, that's really fun to do.
Wampus Cat in here, my buddy Wampus Cat. He's in here.
Hey, we got
Uh,
51 people in the house now. That's good. We broke 50.
yep, we broke 50. Guys, please share this out. Let's get this thing up. Let's bump it on up. And if we can break the 60-pound mark, we'll spin that wheel one more time. What do you think about that? Let's see. Buffalo, yeah. I know a lot of people love to eat buffalo carp. Said it's probably some of the best eating you'll ever try.
I heard they're very tough meat. I mean, I've never eaten any
I
buffalo or
haven't
carp,
either.
but I heard they're very tough to eat.
Jeff said Jeff Manning, he uses the rib meat, the thick rib meat in between the ribs. He
Okay.
said, he said that's the best eating you will ever try. He said he likes it better than crappie.
Really?
Yeah, and now me, crappie is my favorite.
Yeah, that's typically what I eat if I'm bringing any fish home is crappie. That's a good eating fish right there.
Now, can you use game fish where you're at
Yes, you
for bait?
can. Yes. So now the thing is, you have to meet the harvest length of the fish.
Right.
So
Big krill.
here's the issue you run into though. Like I think it's like 11 inches in Tennessee to keep a crappie.
Right.
And the thing is though, is if I were to use that crappie and cut it, the game warden does not know like what size crappie you're actually using. Because there was one time where
Right.
someone was using crappie heads and he was like, yeah, I was, these crappie were like 11, 12 inches. And the game warden was like, well, we don't know. We can't tell by the
Right.
size of the bait, you know? So, and that's just a general rule of thumb that I've had to remember, like, just be careful, like, when it comes to that stuff. You just never know. I
Right.
mean,
What we do around here, and I mean, yeah, a lot of times I cut that head off, but I'll cut fillets off of it, and I'll actually throw the whole freaking bloody body out there and put a double hook rig on it.
right.
And if he questions it, I can pull it up and say, here you go. You can measure it. Just because it's got a hook in it, you can still measure it. I guess I'm head hunting when I throw that big old piece of bait out, but hey, that's
Oh,
what we do
yeah,
anyway.
definitely. Somebody asked, how do I feel about the Shatter Cat rods? And you guys by Gene G. He says, tell me
Yeah,
a little bit about the Shatter Cat rods. Shatter Cat rods are a one-piece rod. They're 7.5 foot. They're graphite and stainless steel guides. They're built for big catfish, so they're heavy action, but I have not had an issue with any of them. I did have one break one time. It was a brand new rod, though, and they sent me another one, and like I said, I haven't had any issues since whatsoever. So, and they got a bouncing rod too. I haven't used that yet. So I think they run like $75, but they're good rods, very good rods.
They've been around a while too, hadn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Yep.
good. So, somebody said, where's the mod squad? I don't know what they're talking about. That's Grant. He's the one that raises the worms.
I
What's
don't know if
John?
Jake is Jake supposed to come in or does
Yeah,
he?
he was supposed to come in about 8:30. I don't know if he didn't get the link or what. He didn't say nothing in chat. Where you at, Jake? Give me a thumbs up if you got the link and you too busy. He might be busy right now. I know he had some stuff he had to
Yeah,
do.
right. That's all right.
But we
You
was gonna
guys will have
bring
a hard time telling us apart anyway. Whew.
first time I seen y'all on the boat together, I had to rub my eyes. I thought, man.
All right.
Well, let's see. Dear Patriot Catfishers of America, your video has been demonetized due to copyright infringements. No profit made. I don't have none of them monetized anyway. You have a copyright strike for what?
I don't even
Only
see
one
that. Is that in
copyright
the chat
strike
box
left.
or something?
I've never had a copyright strike. And before they terminate me, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Huh. That dude, YouTube is a crazy system. I mean, it's they now have the Child Privacy Act put in place where if you're a YouTube creator, you got to now decide whether your YouTube content is for children or not for children. So it's crazy out there now. So
Somebody said it could be a scam, but YouTube sent out an email
YouTube
today
would
about.
not, and YouTube would not put that in a chat box either. So it's
Okay.
definitely not YouTube. Trust me, it's not YouTube.
Okay, then I wonder. Yeah, I don't know who would have done that. That's
Probably a
let me
troll or something. So
go back up there. Sorry about this, guys. Stuff like that. Let me go see if I can see who that is. Nope, it's something. It won't even let me
yeah,
go
they
to their
didn't spell
channel.
YouTube right. They put you and then put a space and then put two.
Yeah,
Technically, YouTube is one word.
right. Yeah, whatever it is, they've got it blocked where I can't go in and see nothing about it.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, we ain't gonna worry about that daggone Fruit Loop. We're gonna get on with the show. How many we got in chat now? 44.
Hey,
They
we
done
got
dropped.
Dieter in the house. What's up, Dieter?
Mr. Melhorn.
He's my hero. Okay.
Jake, did you not get the email? The link I sent you? He's in there. He said it's fake. Will only receive during emails. Okay. Yeah, Dieter's up in Kentucky hunting right now. He sure is.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you want to tell us about your big blue that you put on the boat. I'd like to hear a little bit about that story because you had your hands full getting him on the boat.
Yeah, that was back, I think, in December 2017, I think, or 2018. I can't remember, but I was by myself. It was a nice overcast day, no wind. And I always tell people this, if you want a shot at a big blue, the overcast days are the best days to do it. And I was by myself, overcast day. I had 6 rods, and I think it was 4 Shattercat rods, a B&M Silvercat Magnum rod, and then the Steve Douglas Monster Cat rod. I had just gotten it, and I anchored up at the second spot, and I was about to move spots. Like, I was right about to move spots. I'd waited a good 25 minutes, and I'm thinking, yeah, nothing's gonna happen here. And well, then that monster cat rod just buried down. I mean, I was right next to the rock as I was about to say, "Hey guys, I'm about to move spots and nothing's happening here." And then that rod just buried, and I picked it up and I was like, "Oh goodness!" I was like, "Yeah, this is a tank, y'all. This is a tank." And when you first feel it, you're kind of like, "Yeah, it could be 30, 40 pounds, 50." They all kind of feel the same at first. And
Right.
then once we got near the boat, it was like, whoa, I don't know now. Like this could be in 60 or 70 pound range. And then once it surfaced, I was like, gosh, that's the biggest girth I've ever seen in my life. I mean, that thing must have been pregnant with like 5 little kids in there or something. I mean, it was nuts. And I finally netted the fish, but I could not pull it over my boat. It took me probably a good like minute and a half just to get it over the rail of my boat. And once I got it in the boat, of course I was ecstatic, hyper and everything. Of course I'm trying to stay calm on camera, and so it bottomed out my 80-pound scale. Just and I had a hard time lifting that thing up. I mean, I'm a short, 130-pound guy, and I mean that thing was a beast just to hold up. And well, it bottomed out, so all I had left to do was to measure it. So I measured it, and I did the calculation. It was length times girth divided by 800 or something, and
Right.
it came out to be 97.6. So pushing 100 pounds. And but that girth was like, I don't know, pushing like 40 inches or something. Like, it had a huge girth. And
Dang. Right.
I mean, it was crazy. Like, I still think about that. I know he's out there still, and so give somebody else a chance to catch it one day, and hopefully it's me again. But the state record, I think, in Tennessee is like 112 pounds or something. And so they're definitely out there. I mean, when you have a big river system you can fish, there's big fish holding in there. So
Yeah, I'm resending that link to your brother, but the show's about over with now. I'll get him on here. Actually, I'd like to get him and you both on here another day. I'm gonna start doing some family-oriented shows that brings
sure.
on like father-son, mother-daughter, mother-son, father's daughter, the whole works. Like, I want to get Dieter and Grayson on here. I want to get Wampus Cat and his son on here. I want to start doing some shows like that in between our regular Wednesday night shows.
Right.
So Jake, we'll definitely get in here. And that was my fault because I typed in the wrong email address. I actually left out a couple letters when I was typing. I thought I hit them, but I did it. I apologize, guys and gals, for not getting Jake in here so they could give each other a hard time. Let's see. Joe is a great steward of our fisheries. Thank you, Mr.
Peter,
Melvin.
I will allow you to hold the silver play, but hey, matter of fact, you can take it with you and take it to your hotel room if that will make you happy. Right now I have it in the bathroom above the toilet. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah. Tell us a little bit about it, and let's go into a little bit of YouTube if you don't mind.
Sure.
give us a couple tips or whatever you can, and about your silver button.
Okay, so I started out YouTube, I think back in 2013, and it's just started out as a simple thing like, hey, I just want to put out videos and share memories with people, and that's how it really started out as. I mean, my very first video on YouTube is a video of my dad catching a 15-pound blue, and we were on a guided fishing trip with Mike Mitchell in Alabama, right on Gunnersville. And then I started putting out videos of me fishing, and nothing big, no big fish per se, but just catching fish, getting used to the filming. And well, then I had that one video go viral. What did the catfish say when he hit the wall? Damn.
Yeah.
And that video just took off, and then I started making money. Like I had, and the monetization was a lot easier back in like 2013, 2014. Now YouTube's really kind of tightened up their policy on it, where you got to have like 1,000 subscribers, you got to have like 10,000 hours worth of watch time. They've really started kind of just making things more difficult for you to be a video creator and start making money. So once I started making money, I started to take it more seriously. And my break happened when I had two other popular YouTubers, Extreme Philly Fishing and One Rod, One Reel Fishing. And some of you guys may know them, but One Rod, One Reel has like over 1 million subscribers right now.
Yes,
He's part of the Guggen Squad. But back in 2015 or 2016, when they came, I think One Rod was at like 145,000 subscribers, which was a lot back then.
Right.
I mean, you look at it's almost like YouTube is like inflation. The more people come on board, the value of a subscriber kind of changes. But 100,000 subscribers back in 2015 is probably equivalent to like 1 million today. Like just based on how many people are on YouTube and all that stuff. But anyway, when they came over, I put them on their personal best, smallmouth bass and catfish, and that just kind of got my channel going. Like people started to see what I was about. Catfishing wasn't really a big thing on YouTube. I mean, you had Steve Douglas, Chris Flores, and then Catfish and Carp, Luke Nichols,
and Fat Boy Dan.
and Fat Boy Dan. But Fat Boy Dan was actually even way before then. Fat Boy Dan was back like in 2010, 2009. I mean, he was like the early pioneer of catfishing on YouTube. But Steve Douglas was the one that really kind of was more of the educational approach, teaching you how to really do it. Fat Boy Dan was funny and entertaining, but Steve Douglas was more of the serious, I'm going to teach you how to really target these big fish. But it was really kind of like an underground type, fishing community. Like nobody really knew just that catfishing can be so fun and that the fish can get this big. So I kind of jumped on it and started taking it more seriously. And like I said, put One Rod, One Reel and Extreme Philly Fishing on their PBs. And then people are like, oh, wow, I want to learn how to catch big catfish. And so I just started taking it more seriously and made it more of a professional hobby. And then once I started introducing the free lining stuff, that really kind of got my channel going because it was something new. Well, new in the sense that it's an old school technique, but it had not been shown on YouTube. And, so it was something that I was able to kind of show people, and that just really got my channel going forward. And now with YouTube, it's crazy. I mean, YouTube has blown up in the past few years. I mean, it's harder now to market your channel just based on how there's so many channels out there, right?
Every catfisherman's got a channel.
Yeah, it's almost like, well, I mean, and this is me just joking around when I say this, but it's almost like you can't call yourself a catfisherman unless one, you got a YouTube channel, you're part of like 5 or 10 Facebook groups. I mean, I'm kidding, but that's almost like the stigma though, right? When it comes to catfishing and social media. And I try not to get too involved in that stuff. I just keep it basic and And that, I mean, I'm guiding now. So and that's why I was telling you before, like my YouTube channel has kind of in some ways taken a different turn just because I'm filming a lot of clients, that are catching fish, and it is what it is. It's just the new era that I'm in now with my fishing career, and I'm still putting out videos of myself fishing, but it's not as much as it used to be.
What
But
would you
I just,
recommend as far as videos up per week?
I
How
mean,
many?
I think now you got to be putting up like 4 or 5. Like it's crazy. I mean, it's just I know. Like I typically do 1 or 2 videos a week, usually Sundays and Thursdays at 7:30. But you got a lot of serious YouTubers out there that are putting out like 3 to 4, even 5 videos a week, and it's just staying in that algorithm. Is what you want. To keep people coming back to your channel. You want to get them to be coming back. And we live in a society now where people are like, "Hey, I want it now. I need to see the new video now." It's like they still don't have a lot of patience to wait for a video. So I think if you can put out more videos, and always believe in what you put out, like, I mean, your audience will find you, people will find you, and they'll subscribe to you because not just because you're a good fisherman, but because you have a good sense of humor, you're genuine, and you have good values. Well, I mean, some people don't have good values out there, yet
Right.
they have a really good channel. But I mean, for me, I look at it like I'm trying to be an example for people. I'm a father, I got kids, I'm a teacher, so I feel like I got to hold myself up to a higher expectation,
We
and
are in the public eye.
yeah, and you just want to be a good example. I mean, it's YouTube's crazy. Like, there's a lot of bad crap out there, which is why
Yes.
YouTube is passing this Child Policy Act. They've been sued by the government because they've broken a lot of rules. So it's I don't know. I don't put a lot of faith into the YouTube stuff. If you're going to put faith into anything, put it into your fishing video, not YouTube, if that makes sense. I mean,
Yes.
it's just I don't know. That's what I would probably tell people, that it's not about being famous. It's not about being popular. It's about you loving what you do. Okay. And one thing I tell myself, and I have to keep reminding myself, is I don't fish because of YouTube, right? I fish because I love it, and I love sharing that with other people.
That's it. Dieter Melhorn want to know what was the fastest you ever pinned somebody when you was wrestling.
Haha. I think his name was Dieter Melhorn, and the year was 2009. I pinned him in 10 seconds. No, in
It's
all
always
seriousness, I don't know. I think the quickest pin I've ever had is like 30 seconds or something. So, yeah.
yeah. Let's see, 2 to 3 a week. Being a father of 3, working hard. Yeah, it'd be hard to get one out because, especially, it depends on how much time you put into editing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Some
and
people's got a knack at it.
right.
Me, I fight with it.
I'm cut and dry. I'm kind of black and white with the editing. Like, I don't add the music. I don't add the fancy, I don't know, just stuff that go with it. I just usually put on a chesty, have the camera here. Sometimes I'll mount to the tripod, but I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just I just don't got the time, right? I mean, I got a job. I mean, and these people who put out like 4 to 5 videos a week, like that is their job. Like
Yes.
they are solely bought into the YouTube phase. And that's fine. That's what they want to do. But I just know for me, like, first priority is family. Second priority is my job. I'm a teacher.
Right.
And YouTube is just a part-time professional hobby, right? So it's just
Let's see.
how it
Somebody want
is.
to know what editing tool.
What do I edit with? What software?
Yes.
Is that what they're asking? I use
Yes.
a program called Magix, Magix, and it's actually a 2016 edition. So, but it deals with all the high definition videos that I have and SD cards. I mean, I use an action camera. It's a GoPro Hero 4, and I use a high definition SD card. And like I said, once I've learned the program, it's easy for me to know what I'm looking for when I'm editing. And all that stuff. And there's a lot of different software programs out there. You just got to find the one that is easy for you to use. And so,
Good. Let's see, what time is it? I try not to hold people over too long because usually we keep it for about an hour.
no, that's fine.
I mean, I know you're a busy man. You probably done put the youngins to bed, but some people said they use Filmora. I've downloaded since I got this laptop. I've had to change. I always use iMovie.
Oh
Which,
yeah, I mean, I started out using that. So, or
and it's
Windows Movie Maker is what I first started out using, and
right. Well,
so
now that I've got this new Dell, can't get iMovie on it, so I'm having to learn a different. I'm looking at a bunch of different ones. I downloaded some free samples of Power Director and Movie Maker and something else. And I'm going to play around with it. I'm not real tech savvy. So, and I'm like you, I'd rather keep my videos almost like a live feed.
sure,
That's what I
yeah.
want. I
Well,
want
it
to
seems
feel.
like you got a very good, successful live stream here on the YouTube. I mean, it seems like you got some good people coming in, and that's great.
Yeah, we do have some good supporters. I thank each and every one of them, Joe. A lot of them's been in here since day one, since I started my channel. And I hats off to each and every one of them. I do appreciate that. And I don't take them words lightly, guys. I consider you all friends. And so that's why I try to bring people on this show that might not have but 2 subscribers. And then I bring people on there like you that's got over 100,000. And I think we all have a chance to learn something from each other. Even if it's some
Absolutely.
small stuff, we got to give back. The good Lord's blessed each and every one of us, and it would be crazy and selfish if we don't try to give back.
Right. Dieter, do I plan to be on YouTube in the next 5 to 10 years? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to quit YouTube. It's just, I may not upload as much, which, I mean, the past year or so, I've only put out maybe, 50 videos for the entire year? I mean, I think the most I've put out was like nearly 100 in 1 year. And that's when I realized, whoa, I got to step back a little bit. This is taking up too much time. And, but somebody asked, what's Joe's favorite wrestling move? His is the chicken wing. Mine's the fireman carry. So we do a lot of chain wrestling in the room, elbow passes to high crotch, double legs, all that stuff. Half to a cradle. Yeah, we do cradles. We do cross face cradles, near side, far side cradles. Anyway, sorry, I could talk wrestling all day.
Oh, that's fine. And I enjoy having you in here. I just didn't want to take up too much of your time. I do appreciate you coming into the show, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys joining in. And James, as always, thank you so much for allowing me to be a guest on your live stream.
I appreciate it. And we will definitely do it again when we start up some of the family shows. I've got some names, and guys, I've got an open spot on the DIY wheel. I'm going to be dropping a name, and I do need somebody to take up that spot if you want. So if you do want to join the DIY wheel and you got a product, send me a message and we'll get it up. Country Girl said throat punch for her.
Throat punch.
Yeah.
Yes, Ronda Rousey, calm down. No, I'm kidding.
I bet she felt like it when she been fighting with that motor on her boat. That's been giving her a headache, I believe.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
I thank you.
All right. Well, sounds good, guys. I'm going to go ahead and hit the sack here. So I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Thanks, James.
Good night, guys. Take care. See you. All right, guys and gals. I want to say God bless you and your families. God bless America. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for showing the love to our guests. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want to thank each and all of you for coming in, thanking our guests, supporting each other. Instead of sharing the love, let's share the bait. That's the new word instead of that word sub. So, guys, thank you for sharing the love for each and every one of us in here. And give me a holler. I'll be doing another live feed during the week. Look for it. I got some things coming up that I want to share with y'all. So stay tuned, and we'll see y'all on the water. Don't forget the Christmas show, guys. I haven't received any packages for the Christmas show. It's coming up. The date ends the 16th. We'll be giving away on the 18th. Don't forget the Catfish mailbox. Nobody else is sending anything in there for a shout out for your channel. Make sure you do send something, guys. I love to do a shout out for you, pull it out of the catfish mouth, and shout your channel out. And please, guys, don't forget that wreaths across America. We're trying to raise enough money to put wreaths on all the veterans' graves across this country. Look into it. Gaston County, we're trying to get one for one of the big cemeteries here in Gaston County. So look into it. Wreaths across America. With that being said, God bless y'all, and we'll see y'all on the water. Thank you.